Thank you, Jan. So we will actually want to begin our presentation by quoting a great European who talks about solidarity. So this is the Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, and he wrote once, "If one is truly to succeed in leading a person to a specific place, one must first and foremost take care to find him where he is and begin there." And this is the secret in the entire art of helping.
Yes, and we believe that this humble and enthusiastic approach is the one that EU should have when they help or solve political problems. So in our group, we have discussed the demographic deficit in EU. So to start with, what is the problem? In this case, the demographic deficit in EU means that we have a low birth rate combined with an aging population. And don't get us wrong, we're happy that our grandparents are living longer and that they are with us. But the imbalance of not having enough young Europeans is difficult for the society. So why is this happening? We discussed this a lot from different perspectives, like economical perspectives, but we come to the conclusion that a very important factor is that we are divided in values. Who, you might ask? Well, the different divisions in the demographic groups. So that means different generations and different ethnic and cultural groups, and also people with different educations. So why care about these in the first place? Well, reduced workforce is affecting the productivity and the economic growth. It also puts a lot of pressure on healthcare with a growing proportion of the elderly population. The demographic imbalance can also cause political, cultural, and social conflicts. We should also care for these reasons, that stronger bonds equals shared goals and visions to develop Europe. More connections equals better integrations, and more connections equals less loneliness, and that equals citizens with better mental health, and that equals happier and healthier Europeans. And more connections eventually also leads to more births. So we wanted to state some facts also. The value of family is declining, and there's also a trend of putting yourself first. And you can also see on the statistic that there are less younger people. So our message is that our values are future, and that we believe in that if we are united in values, we have a united Europe. So what can the EPP Group do? Well, we want the EPP Group to, first of all, include values in the EPP preamble, and also make education awareness programs, anti-discrimination legislation, financial support, political dialogue and cooperation, cultural exchange, and improving social protection. So we want to convert mistrust to support, and therefore we have made a social media campaign. We have made an awesome video that we will show you soon, but here are first some photos. Girl power. Who are you? Tell us, we want to know. And seize your future.
And now we want to finish off the same way as we started with the Kierkegaard quote, "Understand before you help." And now let's watch the video.
It is your responsibility not to let your people suffer at the hands of trolls on social media.
today, for the first time, the EU makes a legally binding commitment to combat violence against women. And I say well done to the Swedish presidency. It just shows what you can achieve when you're politically motivated to get the right result.
The Iranian women, the change makers in Iran, we support you. I want to be crystal clear. We wholeheartedly support the aspirations of the Iranian people who want to live in a free, stable, inclusive and democratic country.
We were with you then, we are with you now, we will be with you for as long as it takes. Freedom will prevail, peace will reign, you will win. Slava Ukraini.
Own your own future.
So, Maria, would you like to make a comment, or Lydia maybe? Maybe both of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation, and really would love to learn more about how you envision it to go out to all 27 member states and that connection piece. I certainly picked up points of it, and I think your ultimate goal in terms of what you just presented is on point, and certainly something we actually as a group I certainly haven't really considered until you educated me on it, so thank you very, very much, but would always love to hear some more. Thank you. Thanks.
No? Should we move to some questions? Should we take some questions from the audience? Right. Raise some hands. This is the final opportunity. Anyone got any questions, any comments they want to make on that final campaign? It's late in the day, but surely someone has something they want to say. Am I missing some hands? Someone has to have something to say. Your last chance to speak in the Parliament.
There's a hand.
There is a hand. There we go. Thank you.
Yes. As a young woman, I'm really interested in what you think of the role of a woman in your campaign, because I was wondering, one of your facts stated that there is a problem that women actually fulfill their own career and that they pursue their career, and then your video was kind of in contrast to it. So I'm, as a young woman, I want to have the possibility to pursue my career, and I'm a little bit confused about what your campaign actually wants to do with that and in which direction it should go.
Okay, so we want to stress that family values and pursuing women's career are not in contradiction. Our campaign wants to prove that you can have it all, and it is possible to have both family and a successful career and life. And we need to make sure that this is really possible by providing fair legislation on the EU level, for example. Thank you.
Okay, 339. Another question up there. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, I studied humanities, so I like that you started your presentation with Kierkegaard, but I'm also a bit confused about the message, and I'm also a bit afraid that it could be contradictory with some of the things the EPP stands for, because this EPP also stands for the responsibility of the individual for their own lives, and the EPP stands for the free market, and you said you can have it all. I'm struggling with this statement, and sometimes it's even the market that makes it difficult to combine all. For instance, if you have to move somewhere else for your career.
I don't recall saying you can have it all. Our message is to encourage discourse between people, so that we find what we have in common values. Yes, I don't really understand your question. Sorry.
You can have another.
Well, I generally find it difficult for us, for a party or for a campaign, to try to stop the trend of individualization. And I think in one of the answers it was said that it's possible to have it all. Maybe not in that wording.
Yeah, we don't mean that there aren't obstacles in terms of economics, but we argue that some action has to be made because the demographic crisis is a real issue and we need to somehow encourage people to have more children. And of course, the individualistic nature of our population and the fact that women want to pursue their career is a very positive phenomena and we actually encourage it, but there needs to be some action taken, and this is what our campaign is about, that we need to find a way to somehow combine those values.
Okay. Final question came from 200. Sorry, we'll move on. From number 200. Hey.
Yes. Thank you for your presentation. I'm just interested in why did you choose that topic? Maybe you can just say something about that.
Values? Values. Oh, the demographic, that was not chosen, it was given to us. And it was also, we were told, the hardest one, so yeah.
It's a really tough one.
But we can also say that when we live in time of crisis, I think that the message for the EPP in the next elections should be that we stand united in values and that we take this opportunity and seize the future.
All right. Okay. So, no, you stay. You must have the vote. Okay, so this will be our final vote in this way. So, do you think that this will stop the scroll? Let's open the vote. The vote is open. Is this campaign going to stop you from scrolling? Or is it going, or do you not think it will? We'll give everyone a few moments. This is the last time that you'll vote in this way, so in favour, against, or abstention. Okay, get your votes in. We're going to start closing the vote because we need to wrap this up, so we're going to move on. Okay, the vote is closed. Let's see how you did. Result. 61 in favour. It's all right. 191 and 38 abstentions. It's a really hard thing to do to come up and pitch. You did a great job, guys. So thank you very much indeed.
Well done. I'll take that.
Okay, so now I'll hand over to Joanne as we